At the elementary levels, these students are engaged in career development right away. Their forms of play and creativity and role-taking, even in spontaneous playground play, is really a rehearsal for social interaction, conflict resolution. But exposure is a big deal because that's really when, at the elementary levels, when students are really just beginning to develop their sense of confidence and self-efficacy in engaging in certain work-related tasks. Perhaps even being invited to a work-related site, even at the elementary level, to just experience the environment. It's not really true shadowing or an internship of any kind, but might give them some exposure to elements of the work environment that they just wouldn't be able to imagine and certainly wouldn't be able to replicate in the schools. And then, having identified what those competency sets might be or what those transferable skills might be, then they can communicate what they're doing, with the next set of school counselors at the upper grade levels and what they're putting together for their programs. They can communicate that, and then one set of programs can build upon another. So when we get to the middle school, of course, they can begin to research those occupations and consider the time demands, the kind of education that might be required, basic things like salary and work opportunity, identify growth industries, even at the middle school level. Some would suggest that that's a place where students can begin to job shadow. So they've gone from exploration and now they're kind of in a reflection, personal exploration kind of place. And then with high school, now they can begin to implement some of their plans and investigate more deeply and intentionally pursue some of these interest areas directly. When we train school counselors, we encourage them to think about helping students identify career clusters as opposed to the job. I mean, we know that college students change their majors and go through job changes later, and they're still exploring at that point, but so we help them identify clusters, we get them out perhaps with some internship kinds of experiences if the school's able to facilitate that. We encourage them to get more involved with the community, maybe doing some volunteer work, connecting with business leaders who can come in and serve as mentors. That's been shown to have an effect on things like student retention and engagement. Our perspective is that almost anything that a student is doing in public education and in a K-12 kind of setting anywhere is really preparing them and is feeding into their own career development and personal exploration.